My boyfriend doesn't know it. Alright, here's the deal. 26F, need to get this off my chest somewhere, and Reddit seems like the safest place to spill without blowing up my life. My boyfriend, 24M, is the sweetest guy and I love him to death, but there's this whole chapter of my past he knows nothing about. I'm not sure if I'll ever tell him because, well, it's a lot. And honestly, I'm still processing how I feel about it myself. So, buckle up because this is going to be a wild ride. Before I even met my boyfriend, let's call him Jake for the sake of this post, I was in this tight-knit friend group back in college. This was like 4 or 5 years ago when I was in my early 20s, living in a small college town in the Midwest. Picture a group of 6 or 7 of us, mostly guys, with me being one of the only women who regularly hung out. We'd known each other since freshman year, bonded over late-night study sessions, cheap beer, and way too many rounds of Mario Kart. Over time, we got super close, the kind of close where you're crashing on each other's couches, sharing takeout, and knowing everyone's weird quirks. It was a vibe, you know? What Jake doesn't know, and what I haven't told anyone outside that group, is that for a while, I was basically the free-use girl of the crew. Yeah, I know how that sounds, but hear me out. It wasn't some creepy, exploitative thing. At least, it never felt that way to me. It started organically, almost like a joke that escalated into something else entirely. I've always been a bit of a flirt, confident in my body and my sexuality, and I wasn't shy about it. I'd tease the guys, make suggestive comments, or wear something a little revealing just to mess with them. They'd dish it back, and it was all fun and games until it wasn't just games anymore. It started with one guy, let's call him Ryan. He was the charming, slightly cocky one of the group, always quick with a comeback. One night, we were all at his apartment, a little drunk on cheap vodka and Red Bull, and I was giving him a hard time, playfully calling him out for staring at me. He laughed, grabbed my wrist, and said something like, "Keep talking, and I'm gonna have to shut you up." The room got quiet, but not in a bad way. It was like everyone was waiting to see what I'd do. I didn't back down. I leaned in and said, "Try me." Next thing I know, we're making out in front of everyone, and then we're stumbling into his bedroom. The rest of the night was a blur, but let's just say it was intense, and I loved every second of it. After that, it was like a dam broke. Ryan and I didn't date or anything, but we kept hooking up casually. Then, one by one, the other guys in the group started joining in. Not all at once, mind you, it was gradual. Like, I'd be chilling with another friend, maybe smoking a joint or watching a movie, and things would just happen. I was into it, they were into it, and nobody made it weird. It wasn't some formal arrangement. It just became this unspoken thing where I was down to hook up with any of them whenever the mood struck. They'd text me to come over, or I'd show up to a hangout and it was like, oh, cool. She's here, game on. Things escalated to the point where, during some of our group hangouts, I'd just stay in one of the bedrooms, and the guys would take turns coming in. Sometimes it was one-on-one, other times it was 2 or 3 of them at once. I know that sounds insane, but at the time, it felt exhilarating. I loved the attention, the power I had over them when I'd tease them to the edge of losing control. I'd push their buttons, wearing a tight dress, whispering something dirty in their ear, or just giving them that look, and they'd snap. They'd pin me down, pull my hair, and just go to town. I'm blushing even typing this, but I'm not gonna lie, I was in heaven. There was something about surrendering to it, letting them take charge, that hit every button for me. I think part of why it worked was because we were all friends first. There was trust there. They respected me outside of the bedroom, and I never felt used or degraded. If anything, I felt like I was calling the shots, even when I was the one being, handled. I'd set boundaries when I needed to, and they always listened. If I wasn't in the mood, I'd say so, and it was no big deal. But most of the time, I was all in. I'd spend entire weekends at one of their apartments, barely leaving the bedroom except to grab a slice of pizza or a beer. My favorite moments were when I'd get them so riled up that they'd team up to teach me a lesson. God, just thinking about it now makes my heart race. This went on for about a year, maybe a little longer, until life started pulling us in different directions. Some of the guys graduated, others got serious girlfriends, and I started focusing more on my career. By the time Jake joined our friend group a couple of years later, that whole phase was over. He met me when I was in my settled-down era, working a 9 to 5, going to yoga classes, and generally being a responsible adult. We hit it off right away. He's funny, kind, and just gets me in a way I didn't expect. We've been together for almost 2 years now, and I can honestly say I'm happy. But here's the thing, I can't stop thinking about those days. I don't miss the lifestyle exactly. I'm not looking to cheat or go back to that. Jake satisfies me, and our sex life is great. But there's this part of me that still gets a thrill from remembering how wild and free I was back then. Sometimes, when I'm alone, I'll replay those nights in my head, and it's like I'm right back there, heart pounding, skin tingling, completely lost in the moment. I've got a whole highlight reel in my brain. The way Ryan's voice would get low and rough when he was worked up, or how another guy, Matt, would smirk when he knew he had me exactly where he wanted me. It's like a secret I carry around, and it feels both exciting and heavy. I don't know if I'll ever tell Jake. On one hand, I don't want to keep secrets from him, and I know he wouldn't judge me for my past. He's not the jealous type, and he's always been open-minded. But on the other hand, I worry it might change how he sees me. Like, what if he starts wondering if I'm still that person deep down? Or worse, what if he feels insecure, like he can't measure up to that level of intensity? Plus, some of the guys from that group are still in our friend circle, and I don't want to make things awkward. Imagine Jake looking at Ryan across the table at a bar and knowing that history. Yikes. For now, I'm keeping it locked away, just me and my memories. I don't know if that makes me a bad girlfriend or just human. Maybe both. All I know is that those days shaped me, and even though I've moved on, there's still a part of who I am. I guess I'm just wondering if anyone else has a secret like this. Something from your past you're not sure you can ever share, even with the person you love most. How do you deal with it? Do you tell them, or do you just let it stay in the past where it belongs? Anyway, thanks for letting me ramble, Reddit. Needed to get that out somewhere. No TLDR because, well, you just gotta read the whole thing to get it.